Thank you very much, Chair.
Honorable Nqola, your time expires at 18:49.
Thank you very much, Chair. Good evening to the chief plotist in front of me.
Good afternoon. Good evening.
Look, let's take it back to the recording. You are quite confusing us. You have responded to the evidence leader that you have recorded the General Mkhwanazi on the basis of the advice from the Minister of Police. You replied to Honorable Cameron that you have recorded General Mkhwanazi on the basis of your own volition. In paragraph 75 of your supplementary statement, you make mention that you have recorded General Mkhwanazi on your own volition, and the two can't coexist. It's either you have recorded General Mkhwanazi on the basis of your own volition, voluntarily, from your own accord, or you have done so on the basis of having received an advice. Which one is true?
Thank you, Chair. Firstly, I have never said to the evidence leader, I recorded General Mkhwanazi because of the advice of the minister. I've never said that. What I said to the evidence leader is that, yes, indeed, minister gave that advice that you should consider recording. But in this specific recording, I was prompted and I took a decision based on General Mkhwanazi is sending me a message which is now not correct than what we spoke on the 2nd.
Was that decision taken before or after the advice from the minister?
It was after the advice.
So, okay. Then it answers my question, if that's the case.
Yeah.
So, you have considered the recording on the basis of the advice of the minister?
No, that's not correct.
Okay, what is correct?
What is correct, I decided to record after General Mkhwanazi is sending me a distorted information.
So you considered the advice of the minister?
No, I never considered the advice of the minister. I was prompted by that message.
Okay. I think let's pass this stage. I don't want us to spend more time, but I really do not agree with how you structure it. It's fine. Maybe we'll deal with it on a later stage. Part of what you say is the issue relating to what you call threats by General Mkhwanazi, who says if the letter is not withdrawn, there is going to be a fight back and all that. And I can assure you that even the minister has even brought a recording. But in the recording, the person who is heard uttering those words is you, not General Mkhwanazi. Have you been able to get access to that recording, and what is your view about it?
That is exactly what happened. After I received this message, which is it's carrying incorrect information, I started to record. Then while it's recorded, we are now deliberating, myself and General Mkhwanazi.
Let's do like this, Mr. Nkabinde, with due respect. May you just pull back a moment, redirect the microphone to, you can switch it on and proceed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And then when we are talking with General Mkhwanazi, that what would have happened because it was just two of us conversation on the 2nd. Would it be maybe someone was listening to our conversation or tapping our phones? Then Then I then said, no. I don't think someone was tapping our phones because there are crucial things that you said, which is supposed to be contained in this message. If there was a person tapping us or listening to us, he wouldn't leave out that you said there will be a fight back. He wouldn't leave out that you said if the minister is clean, he can continue. And then General Masemola is affirming, is agreeing with me that, yeah, no, he never said this thing, and is agreeing with me with in reference to our conversation of the second. So that's what the recording entails.
Okay. You say there is nothing special about the complaint brought by Mr. Adams, but the series of events are proving otherwise. There is 2 days in between opening the 2 cases in Cape Town and Johannesburg. But in a space of about less than 20 days, there was an arrest already. It went to the minister, went to the national commissioner, went to the chief of staff, went to IDEC, and arrest was made. Now, the events actually suggest that the complaint by Honorable Adams was actually treated specially. So, in your own recollection, are all the complaints that you receive treated the same way, getting the same special attention, and exacerbated within this short period of time?
First of all, why I was saying the complaint of Adams was not special to me. It's because I treated like any other complaints that I'm getting. In the complaint, I did not even know details of the complaint. I only see case numbers. I'm not even sure who's involved and who are the suspects. So that is why I'm saying that complaint for me, it was like any other complaint. I even referred the same day to different authorities.
Do you usually refer complaints the same day?
Yes, I refer complaints like almost every day. I screen them, I refer to the relevant department. In some others, you'll find that it does not even for the police. Then I need to refer to other departments. So there's always referral. And then how people receiving it, done about it, I cannot comment. I'm not sure.
That's fine, but I'm telling you, the series of events in relation to the complaint by Honorable Adams do suggest that the complaint received a special attention, but we'll discuss that with the committee on committee deliberations. You say, apart from IPID, it was therefore important that the complaint is referred to another independent body, IDEC. How is IDEC an independent body?
IDEC is independent from SAPS, or it's independent even from the Ministry of Police, because SAPS, IPID, DPCI, and SERA, those are entities reporting to the Minister of Police. IDEC is under NPA. It's totally independent from our environment.
Yeah, it should have been properly explained that independence from the police.
Yes, from the police.
Because when you say independence, it will have an overall.
No, from the police.
Because even the accounting officer of IDEC is the Director General of the Department of Justice. So that's why we wanted to get what you mean exactly. So the minister testifies before the committee and says he has nominated about 3 people for the position of the chief of staff, which therefore was subjected to the HR process, and interviews were later held or conducted. Is that correct?
I don't know if for the chief of staff position, there were 3 people nominated. Minister has never shared that information with me.
But do you recall that you said you were the only one in the last testimony?
Who?
You.
I said what?
You said you were the only one who was nominated. You said under oath. Do you recall that part?
Yes, because I was the only one doing those assessments. I was not competing with anyone.
Okay, let's go to do internal communication protocols of the police service permit a chief of staff to call a press briefing to talk about policing issues?
No, it's not allowed.
It's not allowed.
Yes.
Okay. What did you mean when you said if anything happens to you, it must be blamed to General Masemola?
It's because those police who came suspiciously with Balaclavas, they said they were sent by him.
The people who invaded your place
Yes, with
had
Balaclavas.
Balaclavas,
Yes,
and they said they were sent by Masemola.
yes.
Did this not happen during the time of the raid and confiscation of gadgets?
It was during that time, but the raid could not happen because I was not at home.
So was it police who arrived at your place?
Yes,
They wore Balaclavas,
yes,
and they said they were sent by General Masemola.
yes.
Okay, that point is noted. You said you don't know the names of the further 4 people who attended the meeting with the minister,
Yes, I don't
and
know.
you say you did not attend the meeting as well.
Yes,
But you say you confirm that the Stilfontein debacle was discussed in the meeting. How do you confirm discussions of the meeting you're not part of?
no, the purpose of the meeting was for that. So surely part of the discussion will be informed by the purpose of the meeting,
Okay,
because that's how I facilitated it.
that's fair.
Yes.
Then how is Mr. Mogotsi a relevant body for Stilfontein in your own?
My assumption will be that Stilfontein is part of his province.
Stilfontein is part of his province.
Yes,
Oh, is he part of the mining industry?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay. Is he leading the province? Is he a local leader?
No, I don't know.
Was the meeting not based on calling local leaders to discuss the debacle in Stilfontein?
Yes, the purpose was for Mogotsi to arrange local leaders.
Local leaders.
Yes.
Okay. You say there is a 22nd November top management meeting of the SAPS
Yes.
that discussed as part the political killings task team. But you further say you don't think it's important that you disclose the discussions in that particular meeting. Why is it so? The crux of why we're here is the dissolution of the political killings task team. So any information relating to whatever meetings was, you'll recall, Mr. Nkabinde, that we have got numerous evidence with us. And most of it contradicts each other. Nkwana says this, Masemola says this, Sbia says this, Nqola says this. So it's very important, boss. We must understand the steps leading to the letter of the 31st of December 2024.
Why I said that is because I can only share what I could remember, but the meeting is for the minister, who knows why he called the meeting, but I can share what I can remember, what was discussed. That is why earlier on, I did not even mention only PKTT because I remember the issue of fiscal policy and ORS. I remember an issue of inspectorate. Then I remember the issue of murder and robbery unit where PKTT name was touched on as one of those task team that will fall under murder and robbery unit.
When were you appointed as the chief of staff?
1st of August.
August.
Yes.
Are you aware of the letter of Miss Mary Dihas
No,
on the 31st of October?
no,
You have not seen it,
no,
which was a complaint to the minister?
no, I never
You
seen
didn't
it.
see it?
No.
Okay. Now let's go to paragraph 64 of your main statement. Of your main statement, 64 of the supplementary statement, sorry. Of the supplementary statement. You say, yeah, you have no prior knowledge of the existence of the PKTT before the letter of the 31st of December 2024. That's paragraph 64 of your supplementary statement. But in the same statement, you say you had a meeting on the 22nd of November 2024 discussing, amongst other issues, the PKTT. Isn't that a contradiction?
No, it's not written like that, 64. It does not say I had no knowledge of the existence.
Okay.
Yeah. The 64 is saying I had no prior knowledge of the operational activities of the PKTT.
Okay. So you have the knowledge now after the 31st meeting?
I have no knowledge. Even now, I don't know what they are doing. I don't have any knowledge of their operational activities.
But why are you saying prior the 31st of December? Was inadvertently this means after the letter, you actually have knowledge of the operations now?
No, there was a specific question that I was responding, guided by the consultation. There was a specific question that there are incidents happened before the 31st directives, which those incidents, they are perceived or alleged to be a contributing factor for the disbandment. So that was a specific response during the guidance of what the committee is looking for.
Okay, let's go to, you say you, as part of your life in the service, taught the law of evidence
Yes.
to maybe the juniors, the trainees, and
Yes.
all sort of that. Now, we'll presume that at least the basics of the law of evidence at least are understandable.
That's correct.
So in your own understanding, can an illegally solicited evidence be admissible?
No,
It can't.
can't.
Okay. Do you understand that there are laws that govern the handling of intelligence information in South Africa?
That's correct.
Okay. So can a person wake up and say they got an intelligence report on the doorstep when they woke up going to pee in the toilet, then go to IDEC and lay a complaint without producing those documents by just writing an affidavit? Can that happen in a normally operating, say, security cluster?
No, it will be very difficult to comment because I don't know what happened to that person.
Okay.
So it will be irrational for me to comment on something I was not there. I can say he's lying. What if he's not?
Okay. I'm asking, I'm not referring to a person. I'm referring to what the law says about the handling of intelligence information. So that's why I'm making an example about myself. Can I, is it legally permissible for me to do that? Wake up in the morning, say at the doorstep of my home, I saw a file with intelligence information, and therefore I am laying a complaint on the basis of that intelligence information, but not produce that information to you, the person I'm laying a complaint to. I just bring it in a way of, in a form of the word of mouth. Can that be legally permissible as a credible and an admissible evidence?
It's depending that once you get that information, you then definitely need to probe further to collaborate. Yeah, because those are the things you cannot just take from a face value.
Yes.
You just need to probe it further and verify and confirm. As far as the source, the originator of that leaked report, because it means it was leaked somewhere.
And to investigate it further means part of what I must get hold of is the said report.
Yes, and trace it back.
Yes, as part of the primary documentary evidence
definitely.
that I must have in supporting the actual the actual intention to pursue further towards an arrest. I must have at least went and solicited that documentary evidence, trace it how it came about and all that.
That's correct.
So if I did not do that, it therefore means my actions towards Honorable Ndoli as a person who is actually an alleged culprit in the complaint, my actions would actually be not justifiable if I had not undergone these steps me and you are arguing about.
Yes, but I don't want to take ownership in that direction because every case has its own merits.
Yes.
So you'll find that there is a part of classified document and we wouldn't know what else that one should consider in investigating the matter.
Okay. Let's leave this matter and go to the boys' trip. You say in your statement that the boys' trip ultimately ended up taking a visit to Minister Mkunu's homestead.
That's correct.
And you call it incidental.
It's not incidental. I decided that let's go past there.
Okay.
It can't be incidental where you will drive to that direction.
So you withdraw incidental.
I will.
Written in the statement, the introduction of Nkwanzi to the minister was incidental. And incidental, how I know it, is us accidentally meeting each other in the toilet, meeting each other in a restaurant, meeting each other in a corridor without knowing that we're going to meet each other. So taking a conscious decision to take a drive and visit someone can be incidental. Do you agree on that?
No, it is incidental in a way that it has never been a planned trip. And we're coming from Durban. We drive all the way to Mbangeni side for something else. Then we are in the area. Then I said, hey, let's go and visit the old man.
That's the part.
That's the part. So that incidentally come from there.
That's the part that contradicts your explanation. You say incidental means you didn't plan.
Yes.
And you say again, then you are in the same area. Then you say, hey, let's go visit that man. That's a plan. You plan to visit the minister.
No, it can't be planned if it's sudden.
Can't be planned if it's sudden.
if it's a sudden thought that now we are here, can't we go and pass by the minister?
But do we agree that incidental means meeting each other without knowing that we are going to meet each other?
I was referring to that because General Mkhwanazi had no plan to go and see the minister. I hijacked him while we were in the area. Then he agreed.
Yeah, I get that explanation and I'm not against it, but I still maintain that it was not incidental. It's an acceptable, look, don't confuse this thing and think that we're saying is wrong. No, that's not what we're saying. But all we're saying is that it cannot be incidental as actually alleged by the statement. Because you consciously took a boys' trip to Minister Mqono's house to visit him with an intention, visit him. So it's not a coincidence. It's not an
But
incident.
it was not planned.
Okay, let's leave it. Have you been able to? This is my last point, Chair. I'm taking this to you because you have experience in the detective work. So, have you been able to see or access or hear what General Khumalo is charged with? The charges against General Khumalo.
No, I never got a chance to see except what is on the media. But without me seeing a docket as a detective, it's very difficult to make a comment because I don't know what is in there. But if I can have that docket as a detective trainer, not even a detective, I can tell whether there's a case here or not.
Okay. Amongst the charges is an employment of brigadier somewhat. I just can't recall the surname. There is an employment process that has been undertaken, and there is an accusation that it was an irregular employment. There are a lot of things that are said about it, but can that tend to be a criminal case?
Depending the circumstances surrounding that.
Which circumstances can a labor matter like this be turned to be a criminal trial?
Once an irregular appointment consists of forgery, it's now become more criminal than labor. But I'm not too sure the circumstances of that specific matter. But if it's involved any sub form of manipulation, misrepresentation, or what, it's just that I don't have the merits of that specific case.
Okay, Chair. It's just that my recollection is failing me. I'm not sure if, as part of our draft list for witnesses to be called, Mr. Paul O'Sullivan is part of it. But if not, can we add Mr. Paul immediately?
We have that list. We can't add him here. We must. If there is any witness that has to be added, the name must come in a formal meeting of the committee. But the name is there, Honorable Nqola.
Yeah, that's why, Chair, I started by saying if my recollection is serving. My recollection is not serving me well.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Chair. Thank you very much.
You were left with with 1 minute of your time.
Yeah, Chair, that's why I want to valelisa officially to the chief plotist.
Yeah.
I want to also echo, Chair, the views by Honorable Mvalo that today you are doing very well.
You brought the helmet.
In assisting the committee, because our own objective is not to fight with anyone, but to try to get to the bottom of what happened so that it informs our findings. I was worried last time because you appeared like someone who's here to stage a fight back, And I was like, if this is the attitude, this one is going to collapse within a minute. And it happened. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you so much. The members are applauding you for bringing your helmet and the badge. And I added the necklace and the amulets.
Thanks to you, Chair, for your good advice.
I'm calling the grannies at home to organize the beads for you. Tema will bring those beads. Honorable Nqola Barnard, your time starts now.
Thank you very much, Chair.
And then it ends at 7:20. We are going to break.
Thank you.
And come back at 8.
Sure. I'm finding it quite fascinating that we're talking so much about Robert McBride, and yet for some reason we're not calling him to give evidence. Surely he must be given the right of reply. I think that must be seriously considered. I agree with my colleague. And while people were going on about this man, Paul O'Sullivan, I Googled him, and he apparently runs O'Sullivan, Brosnan and Associates and are leading experts in forensic and fraud investigation and a whole lot more. So it seems quite a substantial firm for people wondering what on earth he does. Now, Mr. Nkabinde, I was in Parliament in the Police Portfolio Committee meeting. I think probably the only one in the room here now, except Nicolette perhaps, who it was a meeting in which Robert McBride was turned on by ANC members of that committee. And the outcome of that truly acrimonious meeting was that he was not allowed to be retained for a second term as the head of the IPID. It was a job I had very serious reservations about initially, but finally accepted that he did the job well and without fear or favor. Now, I was fascinated to read about the claims of how in 2018 IPID members were encouraged by SAPS members to undermine the IPID head McBride. And Mr. Nkabinde, you said during your first, sorry, I can't see you. May I ask, yeah, I can shift. Anyway, I'm here, if that helps. You said in your first appearance before this committee that you in fact put in a report, and you confirmed that today. I'm not sure who you put it to, and that it was as a result of that report that it was decided Parliament would not allow him to stand for a second term. Now, Mr. Nkabinde, you said this decision was taken before the parliamentary committee sat to determine his fate. You in fact said that the decision was taken outside of Parliament before we inside of Parliament met to deliberate on the matter. The implication is that Parliament is just a tick box exercise for people like you. And while long suspected by many, this confirmation for MPs is in fact horrendous. Could you comment on that, please?
Thank you, Chair. The Portfolio Committee embarked on investigating this matter. As a result, they wrote a letter to me to confirm my allegations, because my allegation, as per the report, was central to those deliberations. Then until the committee finalized its deliberations and issued a report, which in that report, my report is in reference, which is on the public domain.
Well, in 2018, when you worked at the IPID, did you work with Lieutenant General Nkabinde, the much arrested acting National Police Commissioner who followed Ria Pierre after she'd been removed, to try and discredit the IPID so that he wouldn't be charged? Let me repeat, you were employed at the IPID by the time, dealing with criminality within the SAPS at the time, but you seem to have forgotten that Pakilane was arrested for a 191 million rand fraud and corruption case involving him and a string of other senior police officers. It was a very serious matter, which somehow you seem to claim was just a setup, it's been through court after court, appeal after appeal. He's lost and lost and lost. And yet you somehow claim it was some kind of state capture business. To me, it just looked like down and out theft. And that's what he was charged with. I've got the names of all of those charged. And some of it included the irregular procurement of software called RipJar, which was meant to be used during the incidents of October 2015, the Fees Must Fall protest. All irregular contracts relating to procurement, which is where most of the thieving in the SAPS usually happens. Did you write an affidavit specifically for Paklane to use as a supporting affidavit for him when he was charged by the IPID, the very entity you were working for?
No, I wrote this report, which it was in favor of Paklane.
Okay. You were a senior investigator at IPID and on the very task team investigating Paklane, when it apparently came to light, and I quote from an affidavit and various other documents, in mid-March 2018, that certain SAPS members, including General Masemola and Paklane, had allegedly approached members of the IPID task team and offered them promotions to brigadier within crime intelligence in exchange for giving false statements implicating McBride and other senior IPID members involved in the Paklane investigation. Now, your response to that?
I was never approached. I was not also part of those people, if there are any, whom they were approached. I don't know about that.
So did Lieutenant General Nkabinde convince you to give a Section 204 statement against McBride and try to destroy the case against Paklane? Of course, you were one of the main investigators, saying that as your very close friend, he would help you get another position.
No, that has never happened.
Okay. Were you offered a brigadier position in the SAPS for bringing McBride down?
No, not at all.
Okay. And certainly an affidavit by Mandla Matlangu confirmed what was happening and that had happened to him, but he was killed shortly after deposing that affidavit. I'm sure you must have known him. Now, the IPID was at that stage investigating crime intelligence for the purchase of the grabbers at the massively bloated price of 45 million. It's presumed that this is one of the reasons McBride was targeted. Yet somehow when you were talking earlier, you gave the impression that somehow he was behind the purchase instead of driving the investigation into the purchase. Could you clarify, please?
I was part of that investigating team. We were investigating that matter.
Okay, so you were not implying that, in fact, as the head of IPID, he had purchased the grabbers?
No, McBride was investigating that
Yes.
matter, yes, with us.
Sorry, when you presented earlier, it didn't quite come out like that. That's fine. I'm glad you've clarified that. Thank you. Now, I'd like you to clarify your expertise. Did you, in fact, meet the minimum requirements in terms of experience for a chief director post? Because as the chief of staff to a minister, the requirement is you must have at least 5 years experience in senior management, which means you must have been at least at a level of director for 5 years. But you left the IPID as an assistant director, which is a junior management position. So it's difficult to understand how you were given the position, in that the HR department is very, very sticky in this area.
Yes, after I left government, I acquired a managerial position as a head of forensic, managing forensic in private sector.
For 5 years?
Yeah, more than 5 years.
Thank you. I've read various affidavits wherein your claims are described as, quote, extravagant and utterly false. I find it truly a shame, and I agree with my colleague, Ian Cameron, that you chose to leave rather than go through the process or indeed going to court to clear your name. Do you regret that now? Should you not have stuck it out and cleared your name?
No, I could not wait to get dismissed. If I get that offer, I could, no ways I cannot grab it.
Okay. I'm told you actually asked to go. You were not asked by others. You asked to leave, yes?
Can you repeat?
You asked to leave the iPad personally. You said you want to go. You've had enough.
No, it's never happened like that.
Okay, that's not my information. That's most interesting.
No, McBride came and proposed the settlement agreement. That's why we were all shocked. What is he doing at the disciplinary hearing venue? Because as a head of department, you can't be part of disciplinary. So he came there to stop it.
Well, that's again.
And I also know why he stopped it. He did not want to go out of proportion, because what is in the report, it was just a drop in an ocean.
Again, I'm receiving contradictory information, which is again why I think, Chair, if we had a chair, acting chair, whoever we have in the room, I think we need to definitely call. We're having accusations that are one-sided. We need a right of reply. So I think McBride must be summoned to the committee. Thank you. I'm done, Chair, or acting chair, or I don't know what to call you.
Thank you, Honorable Bernard. And the chair has indicated that we are going to consider this proposal. You recall that both Honorable Nomvalo, Honorable Skosana, myself, and yourself now have actually proposed a certain number of people to be added. So there's going to be a meeting to discuss that. Thank you very much, Honorable Mateus.
Are we going now or are we having a break? I have no problem going.
Oh, what did you say?
I'm saying, are we going to continue now or are we having a break?
Let's go. Let's go.
Must be nice again. Yeah.
Honorable Mateus, we're going to take the break immediately after you. So we will take your 30 minutes, because anyway, we're supposed to take a break at 7:30. So you can proceed, Honorable Mateus. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nkabinde. Why did you give us a supplementary statement instead of a new statement?
I realized that there was no materially changes that needs to be effected. In fact, I realized that after I got an accurate information, like for instance, the issue of a date of the meeting of Brown Mohotsi and the minister, in my initial statement, I said it happened between October, November. Then if I check the correct date, it was 28 October, which means in my initial statement, there was nothing wrong I did. My estimation was very correct. So it means I just needed to supplement and give more additional information for clarification.
Did your legal team advise you to do this and you agreed to it?
That's correct.
Okay. So there are 6 material changes and possibly more in your statement. We're going to go through it. Number 1, on your initial statement, paragraph 71. I don't know if you want to go to there. It says there was a meeting on the 21st of November 2024 with the top management of SAPS to discuss violent murders and crimes. Then on your supplementary statement, you say, I recall attending a meeting on the 22nd of November 2024, etc. So there's a date change from the 21st to the 24th of November.
It's not a date change.
I beg your pardon?
It's not a date changed, Chair. When I consult the calendar, I had to supplement with an additional meeting. 21st of November, it was there. The meeting is correct. What is not showing there is the meeting of the 22nd, which I had to supplement and give as an additional meeting.
On paragraph 80, you said you facilitated a meeting and then you were vague and then on Your supplementary statement, you set out the chronology and then you include the dates as the 28th of October and the 30th of September. So here you give an explanation or expansion.
Yes.
It's not necessarily a contradiction. On paragraph 82, there's also your dates are broad. You had indicated January and February, and then you tighten it up to the 3rd of February. So there's some clarification there and not necessarily details. When we go to paragraph 76, you say the 30th of September 2024, and then you clarify in the supplementary statement, you say there on the 1st of October and not the 30th of September.
Yes, I was clarifying, yes.
Right, so it's a date change. On paragraph 71, you say of the main state, in your first statement, you present him as attending meetings on the 21st of November 2024 and on the 5th and the 6th of March 2025. And then you have the 27th of March 2025 describing what was discussed about the PKTT and the murder and robbery unit. So you don't spell out how active or passive your role was in those meetings. Then in the supplementary statement, you reaffirm that you had no operational knowledge of the PKTT prior to the 31st of December directive. But you clarify that your role in these meetings were to provide strategic and administrative support. So you have reframed your role completely in these paragraphs.
Yes, in my supplementary, I was now clarifying more of my role.
You
That-
reframing it. Should we read it? There's a difference to clarifying and reframing it.
No, I was putting in additional information.
You narrow your role down. You're not. Okay, let's read it. If you're saying that, let's read paragraph 76 in your statement.
The initial one or supplementary?
Your initial statement. Because you reframe your role, and in the main statement or your first statement, you create an impression that you were more involved in these PKTT discussions. And then in your supplementary one, you say that you didn't really participate in it. So you're reframing it, you're not providing us additional information.
Chair, where is it that I was showing my more involvement in my initial statement? Which paragraph?
Paragraph 71.
71 does not show any of my involvement.
Paragraph 68 to 72. I beg your pardon?
'68.
To 72.
I had no knowledge of the operations of the PKTT prior to the directive being issued. Then 69, I do, however, have knowledge of the existence of the PKTT. I recall attending meetings in November, which was attended by SAPS top management, of course, in my capacity as a chief of staff. I do not believe it is necessary and relevant to speak to what was discussed there, save to mention that there was a mention of the PKTT amongst other issues. So also here, I don't see my involvement or my active participation. 70, I attended all meetings with the minister in my capacity as a chief of staff. My role during these meetings was to provide strategic and administrative support, to take note of key decisions and directives, and to ensure that all matters arising were properly coordinated and implemented through the appropriate channels, acting with the instructions of the minister. Also here, I don't see where I was actively involved, except those administrative support. 71, there was a meeting on 21st November with the top management of SAPS to discuss violent matters and violent crimes. And also here, I don't see my active participation. 72, I attended the meetings of 5 and 6 March,
Okay.
where the gradual disbandment.
You don't, in your supplementary statement, you remove the word strategic.
Which paragraph?
In your supplementary statement, you got knowledge of, you don't say strategic, you say knowledge of PKTT prior to the issuing of directive.
Where do I say strategic?
You don't say strategic in your supplementary statement.
In my initial, where do I say it?
Paragraph, let me go to it. And maybe you can tell us what is your understanding of strategic? Because you just read now about strategic in paragraph 68. Did you not? You just read now.
Yeah, in paragraph 70, I was outlining my generic duties when I'm attending meetings, that my responsibility is to provide strategic and
Yeah.
administrative support.
Okay, and then in your supplementary, you remove the point about strategic. So I guess we're not clear, or you're not clear, because there's a huge difference when you say strategic and then you withdraw it, because now you're downplaying
Yes, but
what your role is.
in my
and that you didn't
supplemental, there is no
participate in the
strategic.
I beg your pardon?
In my supplemental, there is no strategic.
Mm.
There has
Let-
to be.
So there's just been a complete different reframing of your role in those paragraphs. Let's move on to paragraph 55 in the first statement.
Yeah, but in my paragraph 66, in my supplementary, strategic is there.
In the same context, hold on, let me find it. I have to look on my
Yeah,
laptop. Let's go to paragraph 55 to 58. You say the minister asked that I consider that these are serious threats and that I consider recording my conversation. And then you state in your supplementary that the timelines, which is paragraph 45 to 54, remain accurate. But you say, however, I wish to clarify what is stated in paragraph 55. So your first statement rather is strong, has very strong links to the idea that the recording, which has come up, was the minister's suggestion. Not that he told you to do it, but that it was his suggestion. Now in your supplementary statement, you're saying it was all on your own.
In my initial, there's no way I say that.
You don't say what?
That I recorded because
The
of the
minister
suggestion.
asked that I consider these threats as a serious threat and consider recording my conversation.
Yes, that's what happened. But there's no way I say when I recorded, I considered that idea of the minister. There's no way I say that.
You are, but now you're playing with words, but you're saying that the minister gave you the idea to consider it.
That's what he did. Yes. But
like,
when
okay.
by the
And then
time I
now you've
recorded,
changed it. But let's just agree that you've changed it now, because you make it out like this was only your idea and the minister did not ask you to consider doing it.
I never changed it. Why it does not appear on my supplemental? It's because we reiterated that we are not going to repeat what has been said. I can only write in the supplemental what I need to supplement.
You shift in your supplementary. You shift from the minister asked or recommended to it was just you. Let's leave and move on to, let's leave that, and we've noted that. Are you still an ANC member?
Have I ever said I'm an ANC member? If you
Okay,
say
the wrong
say-
question. Are you an ANC member?
No, I'm not in politics.
I asked if you're an ANC, so you're not, you can be a member and not be necessarily active in politics.
No, I'm not a member of any party.
Are you, I'm asking about the ANC, yes or no?
No.
Okay, thank you. Let's move like that. Let's talk about the Minister Nqola's IPID case in 2017. What were your findings? Can you just summarize? Because you were assigned to that
My
case.
findings was that there were no reasonable, valid reason to reopen a case which was declined 5 years ago.
Did you also say that the hawks were being used to interfere in political matters in your findings?
The hawks were used.
Mm.
Yes, I said that.
Did you share this information with Minister? Nqola? Did you share the information with the minister
Yes,
about these political matters or?
no, I shared to him that my findings is that there are no valid reason to reopen the case.
I'm talking particularly about that there's been political interference.
No.
No. What was the political interference?
No, that what during my interviews, that what I told, that it's a political pressure. That what they
Who
were
is giving the political pressure?
No, I never got the name.
So you closed the case or you concluded on a case without having a name of anybody on who was doing that?
I never closed the case. The case,
Well, your
the
findings,
case
let me put it
remained
this
with
way.
them, yeah.
Okay, but your findings, you gave those findings, but you didn't know who the person was
Yes.
that was doing the
When-
political pressure.
When you investigate a case, you deal with the crux of the matter. Was there a valid reason to reopen a case or not? That was my findings. There is no valid reason. Then my recommendations, this is the route you must take if you want to properly reopen a case.
Okay, so you're saying that you, there was no valid reason to reopen the case because, and you based it on because of political pressure. You said not interference. I think your initial statement says interference. It doesn't say pressure, which is two different things, I guess. But let's go with the pressure, right? What was the political pressure? Because if you can conclude like that, there has to be who, how, what was the political pressure? Where was it coming from? Who is the political figure that was involved?
No, I never got into that extent.
So you think you did a thorough job on the case?
Yes, a thorough job was
Okay, let's
the
move
case needs to be
Without knowing who was doing the political pressure, you did a thorough job. Without knowing who was involved, who was putting the political pressure on. You're not even saying I can't say who it is. You did a thorough job without the knowledge of who is the person or the persons involved.
The name was
political
not
pressure.
given. The name was not
And
given.
you didn't ask. And then you believed it. You didn't even interview that person.
I would not interview the person because I didn't know who it was.
And you didn't ask. And that's a thorough job.
No, the name was not given.
Yeah, you said that. I'm saying, and you didn't ask. Because given and saying I asked for the name and they refused to give me the name. It's two different
No,
things.
yes, it did not give me the name.
Because you didn't ask for the name.
I wanted to verify who are those people giving you pressure. Then they could not give me the name.
Let's talk about IDEC. Do you think IDEC has been used in the same manner that perhaps IPID was used in the minister's case?
No, I can't say because I can't prove it. And I never encounter.
You haven't encountered anything. So the minister asking you to refer a case to IDEC for the first time, as you had given in your statement earlier, you didn't think that that might be more or less the same script as perhaps.
No, I see it like it's an appropriate body in that circumstances.
All right. Your favorable findings in the IPID investigation for 2017, Were you offered any money, donations in
Nothing.
kind? When the matter was closed, did you receive anything nice, a holiday?
No, the matter was not closed.
Oh, okay, wrong word, not closed, but when you submitted your findings,
No,
there was nothing.
no, it was just part of my job.
Oh, okay, nice one. And then, how many other matters did you investigate while you were investigator at IPED?
We've,
More or less?
we've investigated a lot of cases
Mm-hmm,
and most of high profile cases.
okay.
And,
But just more or less how many?
there are so many, and there are so many people.
Like over 50, under 50, like
over
just two in
100.
particular, over 100.
Over 100.
How
and
many of those that you've investigated have you maintained a relationship with?
what do you mean?
So you've investigated this case, right, that involved the minister, and you've maintained your relationship with him since then to a point where you and Lieutenant General can just stop by his place and chill for tea, coffee, beer, whatever it is that you were doing. So I'm just asking in context of the over 100 cases that you were involved in, how many others have
There
you
are so
maintained
many.
this relationship, or you've maintained relationship?
Yes, there are so
So maybe
many.
just give us one or two names where you've maintained a relationship to that
No,
extent.
there are so many. Even
But so
others,
many is not given
they
us-
don't even know. They think I'm still with IPED. They're still in contact with me. I'm still in contact with them.
You're not going to tell us like more or less out of 10, 20. Can you give us some names?
It's people you don't know in
It
Durban.
doesn't matter that we don't know. We are here and we
The
do an
Ngobo family in
inquiry.
Tuzuma.
Hmm?
Ngobo family in Tuzuma. They even invited me when they had an unveiling tombstone.
And you can also just stop by at their places. So if you are in the hood,
Yeah, but they are not the same as a figure, like a former premier.
Okay.
Like if I can get your number,
okay.
it won't be the same like any other people. I'll say I'm having a
So
Matei
he was
number.
the only high profile because just before you said you interviewed or you were part of investigations of many high profile people. So I'm just asking the ministers on that level of high profile. So I was hoping that you could give examples of other high profile people that you were part of investigations.
As
that you
complainant.
maintain that, and then eventually they appoint you like perhaps as chief of staff or something.
No.
No. So your appointment as chief of staff had nothing to do with your favorable findings in the
it
minister's
has
case?
nothing to do because I left IPED 2018, and I'm already having this relationship with the minister. He's been in a 2 other portfolio already.
Mm.
He has never appointed me, and we have never even spoke about me looking for the job. Because even when he nominated me here, I was working. I had to resign.
Let's move on to, my laptop is just keep moving up and down. It's just jumping. It must be your lucky day because now I'm going to miss some questions that I need to ask you. As far as you know, was the minister preparing to contest the ANC presidency or any positions in the ANC?
No,
your
I don't know.
Mm.
He has never spoken to me about that.
Okay. Who was with you when you recorded the conversation with Lieutenant General Konasi?
I was alone.
Have you had any engagements with Sabia, Lieutenant General Sabia?
Not at all.
Ever worked with him at all?
No.
Any engagements? And then what about Brian Pariachi?
No, I never also worked with him. I know the name now.
Where you said you were employed in between May 2029 and August 2021 with Secure Asset,
Yes,
a Secure Assist.
yes.
Did anybody who you are with at the moment, the Minister, General Konasi, assist you in getting that position?
There's anyone who?
Assisted or facilitated for you to be appointed? in that position?
General Mkhona's assisted.
Oh, he assisted you.
Yes.
Who are the directors? Or do you know who were the directors of the company at that time when you were appointed?
No, I'll elect not to dwell much on the private company matter. It will be very unfair to break their names here.
Okay, do any of them have contracts with government, or did
No.
the company have contracts with
Not
government?
at all.
Okay. Outside of Paul O'Sullivan obstructing you from getting positions and his role, as you have indicated in your complaint to former Minister Bekitele about setting up a whole project or operation with very high-ranking officials within our justice system. Have you had any other engagements with him?
With who?
With Paul O'Sullivan?
No, not
No.
at all.
So when you were part of that operation, what was your Damascus moment where you thought, I need to leave this?
No, after I realized what we are doing, because I thought we are doing the job. After I realized, then I wanted to leave it.
What job did you think you were doing?
Our job as IPID, investigating crime.
And then on this particular operation, when you initially, what did you think you in particular was the operations for this particular job? Like, who were you investigating, or what was the investigation
We were
about?
investigating General Pahlane.
Okay.
So I thought we are chasing the crime. Up until I see this too much involvement of Paul O'Sullivan as a leading us. Then I started to realize that no, something is not right.
So that was your Damascus moment.
Yes.
So you were not actively involved in the faction. You only realized afterward that this was a faction. And then did you speak to anybody else about it before you went and you wrote the letter
No.
to the former minister? You just went ahead and said that, no, this is a factional arrangement and I'm leaving.
Yes.
You are now, looks like we have the same vibe happening there in SAPS, well, pretty much in the justice system of factions operating. Are you also having a moment?
I also have.
Are you also having another Damascus moment of exposing a faction?
No, I'm not in that.
You were not involved in any
No.
factions at the moment. You were just doing your job there as a chief of staff.
Yes.
You and your buddy, Lieutenant General Nkhonazi, had your things on the side and you weren't involved
Yes.
in any untoward things that were going on.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Honorable Matthys. You still had 4 minutes left. I want to thank you so much for that. Those minutes would be donated to the anniversary of Honorable Cameron. Honorable members who are breaking, who are coming back at 20 hours.